afternoon, everyone. It's midday. It's another sunny day here in Durham, and we're live, as always, on a Friday for Tea with Richard. I'm here. I have my cup of tea, and it's time to get this show on the road. So, to start with, I'll just pop up the scrolling caption along the bottom of the screen, as I do in every episode. But it's slightly changed today, and I'm going to draw your attention to a few of the key changes, as we've had a few updates from Durham County Council. Now, this is, as I said previously, a Durham-centric podcast, so this is the Durham bit. However, if you are in another area that's not Durham, please check your council's websites, as they may be putting information on there on a daily basis that you might find useful. So here are a couple of updates from Durham County Council. The first is that garden waste collections will be starting soon. I'll just quote from the official statement here. Residents who are scheduled to have their usual collection on a Tuesday or Wednesday can expect their new collection day to be a Saturday, while those who are scheduled to have a collection on Thursday or Friday can expect their new collection to be a Monday. However, in some areas this may differ, so please check your collection dates online at My Durham on the durham.gov.uk website. Residents who are signed up will be informed of their specific collection dates by email, and this will start on either the 2nd, 4th, 9th or 11th of May, dependent on your collection calendar. These new dates will continue for the next 4 months when they will be reviewed. The last collections will now be pushed on into December and will be around the 11th of December. So if you're signed up for garden waste collections, please be aware that these will be starting in the coming weeks. Secondly, the council has launched a virtual support hub to support local communities. We've had details of different parts of this before going along the caption at the bottom of the screen. But if you need help, key things to look at are: if you require support, fill in the form at durham.gov.uk/COVID-19 help. And if you're able to volunteer, please fill in the form at durham.gov.uk/COVID-19 volunteer. People who volunteer will then be matched up with people who need help via the council's service. So, as I said before, this information is in the ticker at the bottom of the screen. So if you need any of those details and web addresses, you can get them from there. So those are the latest updates from Durham County Council. And now it's time to go to one of our more regular features. On a Friday, must be time for Your Corner. So this Your Corner section is where we look at contributions from our viewers and our wider community. And without further ado, let's have a little look at what you've been submitting this week. So hopefully there you've seen a shawl and some pumpkin bread, and also some sunflowers that have been planted out into pots, bringing a bit of sunshine through the dark skies of coronavirus. I say that although the weather is absolutely fantastic at the moment here, so I hope you've all been enjoying the sunshine as much as I have. So now let's move on to the next part of our regular features, which is things to see and do. And I've got quite a number to talk about today. So the first thing that I want to mention is something that I mentioned in last time's episode, and I promised that I'd try to take a photograph of the Starlink images from a couple of nights ago. I hope some of you managed to tune in to SpaceX and watch the launch, and some of you might have even been lucky enough to see the spacecraft flying very quickly in the southern sky over the UK. I did manage to get a photograph of Starlink satellites. It wasn't the cluster of Starlink that I was intending to get, but hopefully you can see about 2/3 of the way down this image a horizontal line going from right to left. And it just ends just below, just next to the tree in the bottom left-hand corner of this image. And that is one of the Starlink satellites. You can also see a couple of other man-made satellites that were in orbit that have also passed along this long exposure. Unfortunately, the main bulk of the Starlink satellites weren't reflecting and instead were flaring, and they were just flaring off camera before coming into this image too faint for my camera to pick up. But you can see on the screen a couple of Starlink satellites there. So I did manage to get that photo. That is, as I said last time, using the Nightcap app for iPhone. Okay, so that is the recap from last time. And I'm now going to mention a little update about something we've talked about previously, which is theatres and shows. And I've had some input from one of our contributors who's told me about the theatres and show performances to watch out for over the next few days. This week's National Theatre Live on YouTube is Twelfth Night, featuring Tamsin Greig as Malvolia. Next week, National Theatre Live is on the 30th of April and the 1st of May with their two versions of Frankenstein, with Benedict Cumberbatch and Johnny Lee Miller sharing the roles of Dr. Frankenstein and the monster. This Sunday, the 26th of April at 7 p.m, Hope Mill Theatre have an online Rodgers and Hammerstein concert featuring local performers from Hope Mill in Manchester and also performers from the West End. Additionally, there are a lot of RSC productions, that's the Royal Shakespeare Company productions, available on the BBC iPlayer, including Christopher Eccleston, the actor who previously has played Doctor Who, featuring as Macbeth. So that's on BBC iPlayer. Also in previous episodes, we mentioned Andrew Lloyd Webber's premieres on a Friday night of various West End shows. Last week's was The Phantom of the Opera, and tonight's is The Phantom of the Opera sequel, Love Never Dies. And that will be premiering at 7 p.m. on the Shows Must Go On YouTube channel. So that's a bit of an update of theatres and shows. The next thing to look out for is something to look out for when you're on your daily exercise and also as the evening and dusk falls. And I'm just going to put a little warning about this, that there will be an image of a bat on screen shortly, as I know some people have phobias of bats. If you don't want to see a picture of a cute little bat, look away now. So, the things in nature that I want to highlight today are bats and butterflies. And butterflies can be seen now quite freely during your walk. They'll be sitting on many flowering plants. I've put two fairly common ones on the screen here. We have a peacock butterfly in the middle and an orange tip butterfly at the bottom. And one other thing, if you happen to be near some old buildings or buildings with eaves where bats live, you might be seeing bats on an evening now flying out. This is just in the twilight dusk, around 8 or 9 o'clock. This is one of the most common types of bat in the UK, a pipistrelle bat, although when you're looking for them, they won't look like that. They'll just look like little black shapes flitting about around the roofs. If you have an opportunity to look out on an evening, you might now start to see some bats. So there are a couple of things to look out for. Also, while you're on your walk, a local resident reminded me that one thing that's actually quite fun to do now trees are coming into leaf and in some cases flowers, to try and identify the different sorts of tree that you go past on your walks. And possibly next week, we might do a little guide to some common UK trees, so that if you're looking to find out, if you're not sure what to start looking for, we might be able to point you in the right direction at some common leaf shapes and help you identify trees in your local area. So that's one thing you might be willing to do. And if you do see any interesting leaves or trees that you can identify, why not send them in? And then we can maybe make a virtual forest on our YouTube channel. One other thing that I'm very interested in, and as I suspect you'll know now, is motorsport, and the IndyCar series every Saturday are doing a virtual IndyCar race. This week it's the Grand Prix of the Circuit of the Americas, and they have a special guest in Formula One driver Lando Norris. So if you want to see IndyCars and F1 doing a virtual race, and to be honest, these do just look like real motor races. The virtual side of it, you can tell if you look at some of the people that they're not real, but if you're looking for watch them from a distance, they might as well just be real images. So that's virtual motorsport, which you can see this weekend. So now I'm going to bring this live show to an end with my reflection time slot, as always. And today's reflection time is going to be slightly different to previous weeks, where I've just been recommending things that are online, because today I'm going to suggest having a tech-free day. In the modern world, we live surrounded by technology, whether it's mobile phones, tablets, computer screens like the one you're watching me through now. We are surrounded by technology, and quite a lot of that technology at the moment is pushing out information about COVID-19. Whether it's true or not, there's a lot of misinformation out there as well, and there's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of scary things, and people are saying we might be in this till Christmas, and it's obviously concerning a lot of people. And there is a certain thing as information overload. So I'm going to suggest that on Sunday, have a tech-free day. Stop scrolling. Turn off the news. Maybe play a physical game with people in your household. Read a book, read a magazine, do a crossword. Try to have a day when you're not using any technology. Put the screens away. I've got a bit of gardening to do. I need to mow the lawn. I need to do some severe pruning on one of my trees. So I'm going to be doing that on Sunday. We're having a tech-free day. So that's today's reflection time. Try to have a break from all the technology that's around you and have a tech-free day and feel positive about doing that. So when we get to Monday, you're refreshed and raring to go for another week, and also ready for the next episode of Tea with Richard. If you'd like to contribute to future episodes, please do send us an email. The address is on the screen here, tea@mallard-days.com, or you can find out more about me, more about this series, and all the previous episodes, which you can watch again in catch-up, on the website, which is mallard-days.com/tea. Also, remember to click the subscribe button, not this one in the screen, but the one directly below it on the video, and then click the bell next to it, give it some ears, and you'll get some alerts which will tell you when I'm going to go live for the next episode. If you're watching on the website, of course, my head's in the top right-hand corner, and you can click on that, and that will enable you to subscribe as well. So I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I wish you a good weekend. So remember, when you finish your tea, and this is still really important as it has been since day one, please do remember to wash your hands. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.